just got the internet and I was copying shit off the internet and submitting it. But so I write an essay based on something I print out. And then I send it to my friends like, yo, Neeks, give me that paper. Let me write up my essay, right? So he just pulling bits of information. And then the man put, click for more info.
Welcome back deep from my womb lands. I'm all the way back from deep from my womb lands. I'm back from Dubai. This is another episode of the Free Speech Podcast, joined as ever by the Bajan sensation,
Zippity zap.
Mr. Hate Speech.
All right, stop, collaborate, and listen.
The man behind the can.
It's Mooch.
Our producer, the Gorilla Vanilla. We're back, baby. We're back.
Vanilla gorilla.
Vanilla
Gorilla.
gorilla. The gorilla vanilla. It's a different type of vanilla, but it's
Gorilla,
just hench.
Gorilla vanilla sounds like a type of scented candle.
Or a Ben and Jerry's sort of flavour.
Whereas it's supposed to be a racist slur.
What is a racist slur?
Vanilla gorilla.
Why is that racist?
Because it's talking about somebody's skin colour.
Yeah, but he's white.
Yeah,
Well,
it's still,
Wait. He's white. He's white passing.
he's white
Yes,
passing.
I am
Yeah,
white
yeah.
passing.
Yeah.
Which is the best type of white because then you can lure in
People.
radical
Yeah,
leftists
yeah.
and then
Lure
go,
in?
aha, I'm
Lure
a
in?
Yeah, you look. What I like to do is I'll
What's
go on.
lure in?
Lure. Like
Lure.
Back, yeah, lure them back to my layer.
You can't pronounce ours.
I thought
Yeah.
you said Lewiton.
Yeah, I can't really speak.
But yeah, this is what Darius does. He,
Yeah.
he lures in unsuspecting leftists, like a Ukrainian setting a trap,
Yeah, I
setting an
said-
ambush for
Yeah.
a Russian
I
column.
said, come on in, and then they try to say, so, but I'm Iranian. They go,
Well, you didn't explain that very well. So then they say something assuming
Are
he's
you white passing? You're not white passing.
Someone said
Darius
I was white passing.
On the internet, he's white passing.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
people don't zoom in on his profile pic
Yeah.
and don't read Persian of interest.
or look at my
He's
name.
too brown.
Yeah, I've got a suntan at the moment.
You're too brown to
Not
be white passing.
sometimes I'm white passing.
I don't know.
I worry about my son for this because he's going to be he's a quarter Arab, and I don't know if that is enough to sort of get away with some of the shit that I can get away with. Do you know what I mean? It's not quite enough.
Well, what about
Elizabeth Warren was only like what, 128th or something.
Yeah.
well, my friend Tom.
128th, what, Cherokee was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, something like that. Like literally, she was like less than 1%.
My friend Tom Dudley did a 23andMe this week, and he got his results back from his name, Thomas Dudley. You should be able to gather where he's from. 99. Yeah, he's from Dudley, and he's 99.99% Anglo-Saxon and 0.01% Arabian. So just there,
Is it?
there's some dirty Arab from long back that has somehow infiltrated his genes, which explains a lot because,
Dudley?
yeah, I've always wondered why he was so patient to queue up, yet he still wants to haggle at the end of it. So deep in the game.
Is a comedian?
Tom Dudley. No, funny enough, I've got friends who aren't comedians. Although, ironically, he is funnier than 99.9% of all comedians who are offensively unfunny.
But that 0.001% of comedians.
Yeah, are the good ones.
I was going to say something about it being like the amount of Arab that's in your friend Tom Dudley.
Yeah, you figure out the jokes. We bring the...
All the ingredients are there.
Yeah.
This is a DIY one.
Yeah,
You've got to do this at
There's
home.
some jokes. Anyway, I'm back. I had a nice holiday in Dubai. I forged my PCR test back in the country, and I feel the only thing that I was
Any
furious.
other crimes you want to admit to?
Yeah.
No, this is a comedy podcast. Not
He
everything
also
I
had gay sex in Dubai.
No, I didn't have gay sex. That's a lie.
A colonic.
I didn't have a
Are
colonic.
colonics legal in Dubai?
Probably.
Yeah, it's a health treatment. A lot of health spas in Dubai.
Yeah. I was furious though because our new editor, not Vittorio, may you rest in peace.
Refuse to break the law.
Refused to give me. No, listen. He refused to give me his PCR test, so I could because I had the English one, but I had the Dubai one. He refused to give it to me, so I couldn't edit it and use it. It's like, what difference does it fucking make to him?
Yeah, why aren't you sharing your medical records with
But
me?
it's not going to have his name on it.
I'm just asking a question. Why?
He thinks it might trace back to him.
How's it going to trace back to my... Obviously not going to leave his name and passport details on. I'm going to change it.
Maybe he doesn't know you're a master forger, and you might leave his name on like at the bottom or something, and then it's very easily traced back.
Maybe he's seen the podcast and he knows exactly what's going to happen, and you're going to talk about it live on air and put it out on YouTube.
Yeah, also, he used to live in Dubai, so he knows what the jails are like there. So maybe he doesn't want you or him to
it's not the Dubai people who care. It's for the UK.
Yeah, where he lives now.
Yeah. So, but the UK government is a farce anyway.
I tell you
because
what,
even if I had corona, I'd have to self-isolate anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah.
And then, additionally, they're saying, Ukrainian refugees. Ukraine, by the way, even before the war, 35% vaccinated. They're all allowed welcome into the country, fair enough, but no testing, no vaccine, no nothing. So why the fuck am I getting tested in Dubai? Fuck you, I'm going to forge it using PDF Pen Pro, which I downloaded as well illegally with a crack, and I'm going to come into the country. And I didn't do a 2-day PCR test either. I forged that as well. All you have to do is a 4-digit alphabet code and then 4 digits at the end.
Well, I paid for one. I paid £25 for one.
You're an idiot.
When I was coming back from Ireland.
Darius gonna get locked up.
This is live. This is all jokes. It's all for comedy.
I paid for one, and they never even sent me the results. I did it the second day. Like, obviously, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get chased down for one anymore. But like, they never even bother sending me the results.
I did do a lateral flow test though. Why? Because they're free and I care and I'm clean. So there you go.
Yeah, you pissed on it though. Instead of
I stuck it up, man. It's a joke. Anyway, COVID's dead, so there you go.
Yeah, COVID's over.
But I'm just furious that the guy, our new editor, wouldn't give me his PCR test. Like, what? It's like I was saying before we started. This girl at my school, she wrote like an A essay. I went, give me your essay to copy. And she was like, no. I was like, why not? And she was like, well, then you'll get an A as well. I went, yeah, that's the whole fucking point. She'd still get an A.
But would she still get an A when her essay was exactly the same as your, and they both had her name at the top because you hadn't even changed that?
Well, no. So what I actually did is I got another A student to give me their essay, and it was a test, right? And I copied it, but I copied it so like, if she said in her essay, like, the character walked to the shop, I went, the character went to the shop. So I changed it enough, but it's exactly...
That doesn't sound like you changed it that much.
No, but I changed it so it was like different wording, but essentially the same meaning, right?
Yeah, I understood what you're saying, but it sounds like it's exactly the same essay that you're writing.
That was on top of my head, but I did a really good copy. Anyway, I got a B back, and I asked the teacher, I went, what the fuck is this? And he's like, what? I said, I know this is an A essay.
Smack his head off the desk.
Yeah, I went up to her. I know this is an A essay. How do you know? So I copied off her. I've copied it word for word. And you know what the teacher said? He said, and this has always affected me. He goes, but sometimes we just expect that the students are going to get the whatever grade, like a B. We think so we only give them Bs.
Yeah.
So what kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah. That's prejudice.
Yeah, it's prejudice.
That's basically prejudice.
Yeah,
I've seen that same thing happen. I had a mate who did the exact same essay as a girl, and she got A, he got a C.
How's that?
I don't know.
That's fucking racism.
This is why men are
Happy
underperforming.
International Women's Day.
Well, yeah, men are underperforming women in the academic system, and also on OnlyFans. Apparently, women are making a lot more money from OnlyFans than men are.
That's crazy.
Considering there's allegedly a gender pay gap.
To be honest,
I remember I had we had first got the internet, right? This is back in Barbados. Like, we just got the internet, and I was copying shit off the internet, and submitting it. But so I write an essay based on something I print out, and then I send it to my friends like, yo, Neeks, give me that paper, let me write out my essay, right? So he just pull in bits of information, and then the man put click for more info. I write that bit off and then turn over the page. Oh shit. But that's like, man, internet just hit the scene, man. Yeah, people didn't know what was going on. I was thriving then in my academic career.
Oh yeah, before the law enforcement had caught up.
Yeah, before the plagiarism.
Yeah, because you two both got good degrees. You got one in finance, and Darius got one in like law.
Yeah,
from UCL.
That's right, very clever. In a kind of interesting point, some Chinese student just got kicked out of university because he implanted a Bluetooth thing into his ear. to cheat during his exams.
Jeez.
Yeah, I just read about.
How did they find out?
I don't know. Google it. It's a news story. It's big last week. It's about some guy student Bluetooth failed his exam.
Yeah, when Neuralink comes about, how they gonna stop that?
Have you seen all these monkeys are just melting?
No, what's happening?
All the monkeys in the
Neuralink
are all just
What, they're dying?
Yeah.
That's
horrible,
Is
horrible.
Neuralink
deaths.
the Elon Musk thing?
Yeah.
What, and he's melting monkeys with microchips in their brain? Jeez. I mean, 2022, that is just the sort of thing that happens.
Medical student surgically implants Bluetooth device into own ear to cheat in final exam.
Jesus.
I admire his commitment.
Yeah, he should probably. I mean, depending on what the degree is, they should just pass him based on that.
Well, it's a medical degree. So
Yeah,
he's already...
biomedical like augmentation.
I don't know, because it was the student's final attempt to clear the exam after repeatedly failing it since getting into the admission of the college 11 years ago.
Where was this?
After number 7, you gotta switch course, mate.
It's in India. A medical student in India has come under scrutiny after he was alleged caught cheating with a micro Bluetooth device believed to be surgically implanted into his ear, a college official said. It was the student's final attempt on Monday to clear the exam after repeatedly failing it since getting admission into the college 11 years ago.
Imagine if you got that doctor.
Well, imagine if he sat there during the exam and he's just going, okay, Google, what is the answer to how many chambers there are in a heart? And so the guy's like, I think that guy might be cheating. He's speaking to himself.
Yeah. Well, remember there was that guy who cheated on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? There was a guy who knew the answers in the audience. Why didn't they just get the guy who's in the audience to be the guy who's...
Because he was searching.
He was probably Googling.
Major Charles Ingram.
Was he? He didn't have access to Google in the audience, did he?
No, but like I think it's more of a you've got a bit more time to think about it. It's a second set of eyes. So like if he didn't know, this other guy might know.
So it's like an extra lifeline then. Yeah, a secret lifeline.
Yeah.
How did they know he was cheating? Just because of the coughing?
Apparently it's really obvious, the coughing, because also the guy went to go for the wrong one, so the guy had to do... He was like,
not that one!
He was coughing on the right answer and stuff, but then the guy still went to go for the wrong answer, so he had to be like...
That's fun.
Yeah. Neuralink monkeys, like they're all just melting, apparently.
Yeah,
pull that out.
What is Neuralink and what...
So we talked about this before.
Well, if we're going to talk about Elon Musk, we should talk about a couple of things that are actually to do...
All right, let's start reading Neuralink first.
All right, let's start reading Neuralink.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Neuralink and melting...
So he said it's going to help people with Alzheimer's and shit get their memories back or something like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Make you smart.
And also, if you've lost the mind-body interface, so you can't control your legs or something, then maybe it could help with that.
Imagine how pissed off Elon Musk must be reading this. He's like, man, if this was Pfizer Link, this would definitely get past this. Not only would it get approved, I'd get all government funding pushing it behind as well.
And immunity.
Yeah. If we scroll down, so what do the monkeys actually die of?
15.
It's 15 out of the 23 monkeys have died in Neuralink trial.
2,000 electrodes implanted in regions of the monkey's
motor cortex
that coordinate hand and arm movements. And
Musk has a history of bringing together diverse experiments.
doesn't actually say. Just says they died.
Yeah, they died. But like some of them, I was reading somewhere else that it sounds pretty horrific.
It looked like he's vaping.
But they are.
Monkey.
I mean, I guess they are going to die because they're doing experiments on them.
Yeah.
So they're putting this stuff in their brains, and I guess the brains are probably left open, so they can still tinker with it. So the electrodes will be sitting on top of the cortex.
I don't know why
with wires coming out of the monkeys.
I don't know if they need to tinker with it. Like, it's not.
They do, because it might go in the wrong bit. It might go in, like, the monkey starts getting an erection and realise they've put it on the sex bit.
Yeah.
They've got to move it over to the arm bit.
Tune in for more neuroscience with Leo Kirk.
This is basically as sophisticated as it is. My grandma had epilepsy, really severe, like so debilitating. She actually she burnt herself really badly. She put her foot in the fire. And so they did trepanning on her and like tinkered around. It's when they drill a hole. Apparently it makes you feel great, really euphoric. But they drill holes like the size of a coin in your skull, and it relieves
Is your
pressure.
granny from like the medieval times? Like, because that sounds like a medieval torture.
I am slightly older.
Yeah.
But no, this was in must have been what, the 30s, 40s.
Jesus.
But they still, like, brain technology, it's still basically drilling a hole and messing around with a bent fork.
Yeah, they don't know. They're just pressing. No feeling on the brain either, so you can press it as much as you want.
And you can cut bits of. I saw it in this film. You can cut bits of the brain out and fry it, and the person will be like, "That smells delicious."
That's Hannibal.
Well, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's
Hannibal. This documentary called Hannibal.
In addition to the Neuralink, 2 other bits of Elon Musk news. First piece of news is his other Starlink, which is doing the news. He says he's not going to stop Russian news being uploaded because he's a free speech absolutionist. So Twitter's gone mad against that. And then they've told Elon Musk to turn off all the Teslas in Russia. Now, I'm not talking about this from a sanctions point of view. I'm just saying this is a glimpse of the future where your whole car can be turned off in the future. So fair enough, they're saying for sanctions because of Russia, but soon that will be, they can turn off your vehicle. There'll be no Canadian convoy protest. There'll be no...
Then you're going to get the Neuralink and they're going to turn off your penis.
Turn off your arms and legs.
You'll be having sex and then your dick can't work.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. No, you can't drive nowhere. Turn off your Tesla. Turn off your penis. Turn off your bank account.
I'm actually taking a jizz stack at the moment.
Can you not talk about your jizz stack?
What is a jizz stack?
Jizz stack to have...
I'm sure Darius has talked about this
already.
He takes a bunch of pills that make him produce a lot of jizz.
Have I discussed this?
Nobody knows why he does it.
Just to get larger, gloopier,
I'm sure
whiter loads.
I'm sure his wife hasn't been like, Darius, please, would you take a jizz stack?
It's not for her, it's for me.
What do you mean it's for you?
It's for me.
What are you doing with the jizz?
I want to have a fucking massive, large, gloopy wad.
Why?
It's fun, innit?
What do you mean it's fun? It's just more stuff to clean up.
How can you not want larger, gloopier, whiter loads?
Well,
What colour are your loads?
Whiter.
How do you get whiter than jizz?
Yeah, exactly. You take the fucking jizz stack.
And it gets whiter.
It gets whiter, it gets more viscous, and it gets more...
It's just basically fucking glue.
It just fucking comes out like,
Comes like porridge.
Yeah, not like porridge. It comes out like a bullet of porridge. If you having sex with a woman and a tiny little bit of spray jizz come, but if you was like, and you hose her down, she's like, yeah, he really likes me.
Thank you for getting cum in my hair.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah,
primal.
It can be very difficult to clean up, like especially when it's mixed with hair or carpet.
Tears.
If you jizz in a bath, it looks like eggs.
Just like for some reason when it comes into contact with water.
Yeah, it is weird that, isn't it? More highbrow stuff here on Free Speech.
But I was talking about the flipping
Elon Musk
being turned off.
And now how do we get to jizz stack?
So but you only put that caveat in about you're not talking about sanctions, because when you brought that up in WhatsApp, I said, but it's a sanction, so it's not like... Because other sanctions are things like...
I don't believe in sanctions.
No, sanctions are... I mean, what would you rather? We went in and like actually used military force and escalated this and all got nuclear weapons dropped on London? And other places. It's not just London.
Why don't you believe in sanctions?
Because let the war play out.
No, man, come on. Don't.
Whoever wins it, wins it.
I don't think... This is a very sort of school bully, like schoolyard sort of view of it. Like, what if China started sort of bullying around Barbados, yeah. And the rest of the country were like, well, we're not going to fight, but we're not going to buy stuff from China anymore. And China, it's a different type of warfare. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's an economic war.
But this is the thing. We don't know for certain 100% that Putin is definitely the bad guy.
Oh, yeah, no, we do. That's like pretty, if you're gonna...
he might have, I don't think...
Oh, he's got some secret reason that makes it all right to kill women and children.
No, he doesn't know think he's the bad guy.
No, that's nonsense. This is like, I see stuff like this on the internet.
No, he doesn't know that he's a bad guy. It's the truth. He thinks that he genuinely has a claim to Ukraine. That they genuinely.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
claim.
that he's the good guy.
Yeah, but it doesn't also mean that he thinks he's a bad guy.
But surely the people of Ukraine should be the people to decide.
Okay,
and
then they should have a referendum.
They did. They had one in the 90s, and they voted 90%, more than 90%, to be independent and not, and leave the Soviet Union. And Zelensky, the most recent election.
I'm talking about no.
Yeah, the most recent one.
Things changed.
3/4 of the population voted for Zelensky, voted for a Western-looking leader.
We don't know that.
Yeah, we do. Hey, it was a couple of years ago. We definitely know it.
We talking about no.
Yeah, but no, it's not like since then to be like,
I think if they voted now, it might be a bit more than 3/4.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, people thought Biden was going to be a good president.
Well, he's
a couple of years ago,
Putin.
people thought vaccines were a good idea.
Vaccines are a good idea.
We talking about these ones.
What one?
A lot of people are like, nah.
COVID vaccines.
No, but they're a good idea.
Boosters. They thought they were going to be, but
so they still are a good idea.
It got us out the pandemic.
No, that's natural immunity got us out of the pandemic.
No, that's not true.
It's true.
No, it's not true.
It's true.
No, vaccines played a big
no,
part.
They didn't.
All right,
maybe not in this room,
let's analyze. When it comes to sanctions, my only issue with the sanctions is I think it's affecting normal Russians.
Exactly.
But I understand the reason being is they get the people put it on that, but it's not like Iran gets sanctioned all the time, right? So I understand why. I think people like NICO and
the average man in the street getting fuck up in Russia. For what?
But
Russia might
rise up against Putin. Change your leader.
Can't drive the Teslas to go and get milk.
The dicks ain't working now.
The iPhones ain't. iPay's not working. Google Pay's not working.
Can't get baby formula.
But you know what it is though. This is.
Suffer.
I think so. So you get anger about this, Leo, because you say, people are pro-Ukraine, right? And like, I'm pro-Russia, right?
Yeah.
Especially on the right. There's a lot of people there, and I've been thinking.
Jeremy Corbyn.
I don't know about that, but the reason I think this has happened is because for the past 2 years, the whole media and the narrative and the governments have lied so much and pushed this COVID thing when they could have just told the truth. But I'm not. I'm just saying this is my thought process. I've been thinking about this. They push this so much that now when this come out and they say, we're telling the truth on this, people are like, why should we believe you now when you've lied over this, and this?
Yeah, but
and
did they really lie over COVID? I mean, there's a few isolated things, like the Wuhan lab leak theory was dismissed when actually it was a credible theory. I think a lot of the COVID stuff was way overblown, and they should have
Sage
just not had a lockdown.
the predictions wrong.
They were intentionally using fear to drive these lockdowns and all these measures.
They wanted to
intentionally up the numbers.
But what that's caused, but the knock-on effect that's caused now when this happens, when actually, so I watched Constantine.
Like the boy who called.
Yeah, exactly. So no one believes it. And I asked you and you freaked out. Yeah. So I watched Constantine. And I thought he gave a good or Constantine on Newsnight question time, and he was quite eloquent, and he kind of explained the situation, and he said, look, what we can't go in there because you're just going to start World War III, and Ukrainians are going to have to fight this themselves, and they're going to have to make hard choices, I give them Crimea or everything from that side of the river. And I'm not going to say I'm like a Ukraine expert, but it's when you get to hear someone who speaks like doesn't just say the message. They say this is why it's happening. This is the thing. And apparently Putin did a big speech and he said, this is the history of Russia. Ukraine belonged to Russia. It was a mistake to give it away through leadership. But because I heard that point of view, I was like, okay, now I understand a little bit more. I can see where they're coming from, and I can understand it a bit more. And I think it would do better for news outlets to give that side of things.
Give both sides.
Yeah, but they do. I mean, if I mean, if you've been reading The Economist,
me and
you'd
Darius
have
have been reading extensively.
No,
extensively.
No, you haven't. You just go on Instagram.
No, I don't go on Instagram. I go on Snapchat.
And then you look at one headline and you're like, oh, why is nobody going into detail on this? They do. Like, read The Economist. All this stuff is like
I'm not reading The Economist.
But this is, I mean, for like years now.
Is that a pay for subscription?
For years, yeah.
You're telling me to pay for something.
It's worth it. Also, you can just put the URL into that thing so you can read it.
Propaganda.
It's not
a lot of economists.
Oh, they're radical centrists. You know what I mean? From the real far centre.
You know who pays for The Economist? Who they're sponsored by?
Me.
Oh, say it.
Andrex.
Soros. Ambrosia.
You know who?
Go on, say the name.
Ambrosia.
Do you know who?
Well, it's me. I
no,
pay.
Not you.
Well, who then? You're going to say
Those brothers.
the Barclays brothers?
The brother, I can't remember who they are.
The Van Winklevoss brother?
They're rich.
I don't know. Which brothers? Just black people.
Nah, we don't say that on this podcast. Especially not on International Women's Day. Mate.
The brothers are sponsoring that.
Anyway, that was my take on it.
Yeah.
What
But
we
also,
I
I
don't
mean,
listen. I don't know enough about what's going on, but I know there's two sides to every story, and
I know
the
what you're trying to
side that we're getting is just boom, boom, boom. Putin bad, Ukraine and Zelensky good.
there's
And
not,
it's
there's not
as
two
simple as
sides.
that.
Oh, but I just want to say
It's not as simple as that.
it-
That Putin is.
it-
So is there two
it-
sides?
hold
So
on.
with Hitler, was there two sides to that story?
Well,
A lot of
no.
people will say that. Some people
Yeah.
would say that.
in
crazy
Dubai,
people.
in
Some
Dubai,
people would say
they were pro Russia. So on Twitter in Dubai, it was I stand with with Putin. It was trending. They're proper pro Russia.
Well, that was trending.
There's arguments that saying that NATO has been quite aggressive in its sort of toying with Ukraine about becoming part of it. And when the Soviet Union got disassembled or disbarred, whatever,
dissolved.
That's the word I was looking for.
They weren't a legal practice.
There was a understanding that none of the surrounding countries of Russia would have military build up on it, and then there's obviously bases being built in the Ukraine by Americans that are. It's kind of like a similar situation to almost what's happened with the Cuban Missile Crisis. There's big military build-up right on the doorstep. Obviously, they're not happy with that, so they're taking that as provocation.
And they had
Is
an
that true,
agreement.
Leo?
Yeah,
Well,
there was an
NATO
agreement they signed.
Well, yeah, but you know what else was in that
Russia
agreement?
signed with NATO.
You know what else was in that agreement?
What?
Like Ukraine would be a sovereign state and Russia wouldn't invade, wouldn't destabilize it, wouldn't send like thousands.
If that they didn't build or
Oh,
give
no.
stuff in there.
Russia.
Yes.
Russia has been tinkering. It's taken bits of
No.
No, Russia has taken bits
In
of
the
Jordan.
agreement, I've got it written down here.
Listen.
I've been
Russia's
researching this.
Russia's taken bits of Georgia. It's taken bits of Moldova, and it's taken bits of Ukraine. So for people to say, "Oh, Russia's just been super peaceful," also Russia's been like beyond that, like the propaganda, the meddling, the destabilizing, with saboteurs through Ukraine and like in the Donbass region, sending all these trained militia.
So you're gonna say that everything the West done and NATO has done has been above board
In
and
Ukraine,
fair
I mean,
practice?
well,
And
man,
everything
overall in
UK
Ukraine
and US does.
Overall in Ukraine, yeah,
And NATO.
pretty much. When's NATO ever attacked Russia? You know what? Russia doesn't belong to Russia. Russia doesn't. It's not a. It's like it's a collective.
this
The
guy
Soviet
crazy.
Union. The Soviet Union was like. It was just like a madness. Communism took over and expanded and took over all these places. You think half of Germany, half of Berlin belongs to Putin because it was part of the Soviet Union?
Was Germany part of the Soviet Union?
No.
Yeah, East Germany.
After the World Wars, they sort of split up.
Yeah, I know East Germany, but it wasn't Russian.
Yeah,
it
it was Soviet
was
Union.
communist, but it wasn't.
No, it was part of the. I mean, effectively, essentially part of the Soviet
satellite
Union.
state.
Yeah, and
wow.
East Berlin as well. And funnily enough, nobody was like
Apparently,
dying.
East Berlin's really nice now.
Yeah, now that it's not communist.
But yeah, I kind of know what you're saying, but I also like it does seem to be a bit of an aggressive move to invade a different country. Like, you know,
Come on, we're a little country, let me invade, no problem.
But this is the thing. You can't pick and choose when America goes into places, when Britain goes into places.
100%.
You can't be like, yeah, that's okay. And then when he's doing that, this is the worst thing because it don't agree with your interests. America, Britain, all these European countries have gone into places where they weren't wanted. And they've done stuff that the people who live in there didn't want done to them. So then for him to be doing like that, it's hypocritical for you guys to then go, oh, this guy is bad, he's doing something that we've always done.
I guess it's from an ideological perspective.
So-
Ukraine is a Western liberal European democracy.
Yes,
So-
there's white people there.
Exactly. Basically, that's all it boils down to.
Yeah, let's get it
That's
straight.
all
There's
boils-
white
Thank you,
people
Mooch. Yeah.
in Ukraine.
This should not happen to white people.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
exactly what it is. That's
No,
all
it's
it
not
boils
exact- it's
down.
not-
That's
it's not
what
a
it boils
race-
down
And
to.
not just any
It's
white
not-
people,
it's not
some
a
of the
religion.
most
Yeah,
beautiful
these are-
white people
These are
on
middle
this
class
planet.
white people
But
that
so
this is happening
how
to.
come
So
NATO?
that's the only thing that's
How come
that's why
NATO-
it's such a big issue.
If
them
it's
was brown or
purely-
black people, they'd be happy.
Nah,
And you know what? Listen, a lot of black people was like on board with the whole Ukraine thing, and then they saw videos of the Africans being left behind, and then we was like, you know what, fuck them. So that's that.
That's Poland, though. That's Poland's fault. Isn't
No,
it?
there was boarding trains, getting on the trains to
really,
get out of
really?
Ukraine. They weren't letting the blacks on, so yeah. So you lost a lot of support there.
But how
so.
come then? How come NATO got involved to protect Muslims in the Serbia?
Oh, they didn't. They fucking left. If you're going to talk about Kosovo, they left them to get massacred
Yeah,
by.
but then they got involved because they were getting massacred.
No, they stood by and let the army in to go in Bosnia. They let
NATO
the
got
army in.
NATO got involved. to
Is it
stop-
Srebrenica?
Yeah, because obviously NATO getting involved in something is a big deal. So it's like they're. You
no,
can say the same thing about Ukraine, but they
I know,
got involved
but
to,
that
to
was-
stop the NATO got involved to stop the Muslims getting massacred.
No, that was the worst thing ever. It was the Dutch. I don't even think it wasn't. It was the Dutch. Who wears the white helmets? Is that the
UN.
UN?
Peacekeeper.
The white UN peacekeepers. The Bosnian. It was in Kosovo. They went there to like get protected by them.
Yeah.
They were stood there, the army with fucking guns, and they let the Serbian forces literally commit a genocide in front of them, and they didn't intervene. And that's because it was not because they were Muslim, but it's like, listen, that's just a lesson in history. But that was a crazy
Serbians
thing.
on the Bosnians.
Yeah, it was like,
There was something I watched on this recently. There's a movie or something about this, or a documentary about this.
well, that's Rado Milosevic, I think, is the guy who. I mean, but obviously, all what I'm saying now is completely wrong. Just remember, exciting times in Moscow, right?
I quoted someone on that today. We were talking about that, and I went, Vitaly Grigori, what's called? And then I realized, that was a made-up person.
Exciting times in Moscow.
Someone's going to listen to this podcast, but yeah, those Bosnians were killing the Serbians, and it's the other way around.
Talking about some crypto, and there's this guy called Vitaly, and I was, there's another guy, there's a Vitaly Grigori, and I was like,
That's good.
no.
Well, yeah. Funnily enough, talking of fake names and wrong people, because there was the guy. Where is it? I'll dig up the link. Here it is, Wikipedia link. Ukraine. This Russian general was claimed to have been attacked and killed. And
Why is that not in the podcast,
what?
George?
This?
Yeah.
That is.
Oh, yeah,
Pull that out, man. That's hilarious. That's the funniest thing in the chat. That's the funniest thing in the chat. I hope we're not talking about that.
Here he is. Wait a minute. George Zach trying to flee Ukraine.
Yeah, I think this is incredibly brave.
Accused of cowardice for transitioning to avoid it in the war.
That's funny. Did you tag George Zach in that?
You should. That's
No,
good.
I was the one who said it looked like George Zach.
Yeah.
That's my special skill.
I wonder how many, transitioning appointments did happen because of the war.
What do you
know what I
mean?
mean? Like how many men were like, yo, when they said men 16 to 80 have to stand behind and fight.
They don't even need to appoint.
I think
They
they
can
just suddenly setting up gender clinics in Kyiv.
I mean, applications probably went up.
I think the applications for that in the Ukraine, I think they had other things on their head. I don't think that.
No, but the men trying to get up were like, yo, just as a, you know what I mean?
But under the SMP, they could literally just say, "No, I'm a woman,"
Yeah.
and they could have walked through.
Oh yeah, like
Not
look at
protect their
there's
country.
there's that one called Karen who went to a women's prison, and in fact I might have a link to it. But oh man, where is Karen?
Karen Dunbar. Oh, actually, whilst we're talking about Karen Dunbar, Leo's and I's appearance on cancelled Karen Dunbar is on the BBC iPlayer, where she looks at woke comedy, this old comedian, and she looks at good comedy.
Spoke about this last week.
Did we?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. I've got my fucking Alvances not working today.
Yeah, how come?
Because I stayed up late.
We spoke about your jizz stat.
Yeah. No, I don't remember the gist that. I don't remember that disgusting
I don't remember
hour.
I don't remember
long.
talking about just that.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. I found it.
I'm trying to do a million things here. I'm trying to look at the topics. I'm trying to keep things online. Oh, you know what's weird? If you Google best fluoride-free toothpaste on Pinterest, it comes up with a community warning.
Why are you Googling
Google
fluoride toothpaste on Pinterest? Who uses Pinterest in the first place?
I thought Pinterest was just like stuff for like brides and stuff to.
Yeah. I use Pinterest.
There we go.
but it's just an example of things that people are censored for no reason. Why is anyone censoring best fluoride-free toothpaste? Because I'll tell you why. Because it rots, it calcifies the perineum gland, which is known as the
pineal
gland.
The perineum is that bit between your asshole and your balls.
Yeah, it calcifies that bit between your asshole and your balls.
He's just got some lime scale on his balls.
From all the colonics. It's from all the colonics.
Because they use hard water, man.
Oh my God.
I put that link in the chat to the. So this is a woman in Scotland. Who was born a biological male but is now a woman. She bravely doesn't stick to patriarchal gender norms. But yeah, went to a women's. Was sent. This is Karen. Real under the SNP's rules where you can self-identify. It's a real woman. Was sent to a women's prison. She has a penis and sexually assaulted 2 women in prison.
Fair play is what fair play for women.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Fair play.
Yeah, fair play, mate. Love.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, this world is a mad world.
Well, no, they've caught her on a bad day.
This is
that's not.
You know what this is? You know what this is?
She's got no makeup on.
Yeah.
This is trans misogyny. Just because she's an ugly woman, now you're like, oh, she's not a proper. She's
this
just an ugly woman.
World.
Yeah.
How we get here?
I like it when Darius says women need to do better.
Women do. She needs to do better. Women do need to do better.
Really do better.
I keep on reading these horrifying stories that women are exposing themselves and committing these sex crimes. So anyway, and when I read them, it affects me deep in my womblands.
Chelsea Hart is getting cancelled at the moment. Chelsea Hart is going to. I don't know if it's really relevant to this pod, but it's kind of.
Let's see why.
Do you want
to? Actually, it's
So wait. Is that a woman to you guys?
What, Karen?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, that's
but honestly speaking, that is considered a woman in Scotland.
It's a real yeah.
But in Scotland, it definitely is.
It was anyway. Where do you think we've got the kill?
Scotland, that's a fucking babe.
I mean, no, there's a reason Scotland's leading on this stuff.
Don't forget to shout out your Edinburgh date.
When the Vikings came to the UK, they went round doing all their pillaging and everything. But when they took the hot women back with them. But they actually, what people don't realise is they left the ugly women in Dundee.
Is that true?
No. Why would they bring ugly women? Maybe they did. I don't know.
So wait, that is a woman.
That's a woman, Nico.
That is a woman.
In 2022.
More than a woman.
More than a woman.
But you know what I mean? You had that
woman.
joke, that joke where you say, at least make an effort.
Yeah.
This guy, he didn't do nothing.
Yeah, but he's in prison.
This
it's hard
girl,
to stay up the beauty
Nico.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Get the pronouns.
Oh yeah,
right.
she's in prison. Sorry,
she's in prison.
Forgot.
All right.
Beautiful.
But the pronoun stuff. The weird thing is with people on the right, they seem to. I get that the culture wars and people are like, people are getting cancelled. And the pronoun stuff and child transition, like there's a lot of stuff that you can sort of question, but people seem to be like, well, the West has got some things wrong with it, so I like Putin. And it's like,
did you speak to what's his face about this? Sargon of Akkad.
Carl. No,
your first name basis.
It wasn't
Carl to me.
He wasn't in the studio today, but we I spoke about it on the pod.
And what did they say? Because I've noticed that a lot of the right are quite pro-Russia on
Yeah,
this.
I mean, Lotus Eaters aren't really. They're like
He is, though. He's posted a few memes.
but it's more critical of the still culture war stuff.
I think that's where I stand on it. It's the way it was so seamlessly went from COVID to instantly, Ukraine.
Yeah, but COVID was already over.
I don't think Putin is mad. Is what I'm saying.
No, I do.
No,
I think
he definitely is.
No, I don't think he's a mad.
Well, he's
man.
not. He's not operating according to any sort of calculus that a rational leader would
But
take. I mean, he's
that's
destroyed
that's-
his country.
No,
He has.
no.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a. It was an economy the size of Spain, and he's greatly
Texas has a bigger
strengthened.
economy than Russia.
I don't.
Spain had a bigger. All the EU is now massively
I
strengthened,
don't think.
and people want to
yes,
join the
but I
EU.
don't think
NATO
he's
is
a
massively
madman.
strengthened.
He's not a mad.
Well, what's he getting out of it then?
It's that claim that he believes that Russia had. He want to restore it to its glory.
So how does
it's
this
an
end? Actually, genuine
It's an
question.
ideological. It's an ideological idea.
Pursuit, yeah.
Ideology isn't sanity.
But all right, stop.
Ideology is what drives Islamists.
But realistically, how does this end?
Hang on. Do you think he is mentally deranged? The answer has to be no.
No, I think-
listen. I think you have to understand that Putin now is very different to when Putin became president 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, if you've had 20 years of being constantly worried about assassination, being overthrown by your people, an oligarch getting, that plays on your mind. And
No, but you watch the interviews with him and you see that's a rational man. That's a normal dude.
What do you think about Russian
Who's paying
Today
you?
being
Who's
pulled off
paying
the air? What do you think about Russian Today being pulled off the TV channel? It's been all
I
over
did
the
some
world.
writing for Russia Today. I've been paid by Putin.
Bobby Mayer was on it.
He was on it.
Yeah, Bobby
Bobby
Mayer.
Mayer's a voice
Wow.
piece for Putin.
Bobby Mayer, basically, when he first came over here,
There was few comedians that did
it was on
Bobby-
it, and and he didn't know any of the of the politicians and stuff because he'd
Yeah.
just come over here.
Yeah.
And Farage was there, so he's getting photos and stuff with him. And he's just like obviously clueless, and if this had got out.
Which it just has.
No, he talked about it now, and
Right,
he knows.
yeah.
But when he first got here, and he's like, not that sort of
Yeah,
comic, but he's got photos with.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I used to work for Air Zimbabwe, and when you went in, there was a big picture of Mugabe,
A big fan.
and they paid me in cash,
big fan.
no tax, in Victoria Place.
Are there any despots or tyrants you're not a fan of?
Nah, but Mugabe did the right thing, man.
Well, he took the land back from the white,
Supposed to, yeah.
and then they fucked it up.
And then Zimbabwe really took off.
It wasn't just the whites.
Let
It
me
was-
fuck up on my own terms. You get what I'm saying? If I want to fuck up, let me fuck up by myself. Rather than
A lot of it
you
was
fucking
browns,
me.
actually,
So,
wasn't it? In
Let me fuck up.
Was
on my
what?
thing.
a lot of it was browns,
Well,
Asians.
listen, what I'll tell you about Zimbabwe, right? From my experience of working for a government company there, is that they're not the most conscientious. I applied for the job because I read the job and it said must have
Who are
world.
you to speak about
Well, I'm going to give you my experience.
conscientious
It said,
Mr. Forge
hold on,
and PCR test guy?
well, hold on. You haven't even heard my story from Air Zimbabwe, right? It said must have world span experience in the job application. I was like, shit, I've been traveling. I got loads of world span. So I applied, and the woman interviewed me and said, you got world span experience? Oh yeah, loads. I've been traveling. Yeah, loads. So she'll come and start the job. What I didn't realize, right, is that world span is an travel agent's operating system that they use to book flights. So it's to book it's to book flights. So, oh yeah, fucking piece of piss. I thought it was like booking on EasyJet, just drop downs. It's not like that at all. They use airport codes, and you got to do it's like in MS DOS. So I sat there and I just looked at this thing. I said, so book a flight to Harare. Then I was like, I just moved the mic, and then in the end they realised they had no clue what I was doing, so I just played football manager in the front of the house.
They didn't fire you.
No, they liked me.
They liked you.
They liked me there.
They liked you.
Yeah.
No wonder the country went fucked. Which is like, you know what?
And they paid
I like
me in
this
cash.
guy.
They just paid me
like
in
this
cash. I
guy.
played football manager every day. So and I saw
Where was this? Where was this?
It's Victoria Place. They used to have a shop in Victoria Place, and they just booked tickets to Bulawayo and Harare.
In London.
Yeah, in London.
What was it called?
Zimbabwe.
Here in Zimbabwe. Okay.
It was their national carrier. And every now and then Zimbabweans would call and go mad at me. Oh, you're booking my flight. I'd be like, yeah. No clue what I was doing. Just put you on hold for a second. I could just hear them going, anyway.
You ever worked in a customer service role? Like, yeah. How'd it go?
It was all right. I worked in retail for a bit when I first started comedy.
Selling what?
clothes. It's like a hiking shop. It's when I tell you that man
Millets.
come in. It's like raw. No, there was two. Rohan, which is like camping and hiking gear. That's when the black man came in and I was like, wait, these clothes sell? No, like he didn't understand that there's clothes for camping and shit and not fashion clothes. You know what I mean? He was like, but and then I worked in a place called White Stuff, actually.
White
Stuff.
Was that a rival company to Blacks?
Yeah, no, it's a rival company to Fat Face.
Oh, like
It's
fashion
like it's
clothes.
literally like middle class white woman clothing.
Oh, is that the white
Like-
company or something? They do candles and all that stuff.
No,
Man, some
there is the
candles-
White company, but they're like White Stuff is basically Fat Face is kind of like some sort of snow ski boards.
Yeah, it's like,
ski and snowboard. Sorry.
Have you heard of a thing called Joe Malone?
Yeah.
Because-
that's a candle place.
Man, candles, but not just
Mo
candles.
Gilligan used to work there.
Man, Joe Malone candles. Have you seen? They're like
3 wick.
they're like 70 quid and stuff.
Oh, women
For
love
a
them.
candle.
They can get more
and women,
than that.
yeah, women love them.
Can't
And it's
get
like
enough.
it's just a candle. Are you
Yeah.
mental?
Yeah.
It's some like fat with a bit of string in it.
Yeah.
What's the other one? There's one called Michelle talks about it a lot. Diptyque or something
Yeah,
like that.
Dipsec Burger.
Yeah.
Can you imagine they did candles?
I worked for Transport for London on the Oyster Card help desk.
Oh my god.
I got fired, obviously, because I sold my staff pass.
I got fired for
You sold your staff pass.
Yeah, I sold my staff. You get 2 staff passes, but they have to live with you, the people. So, and some guy wanted to use it, so I sold it to him. Then he got caught with it. So then I went down there to pick it up, and I shouldn't have done anything. And then because I was Larry to them, they
Oh my god! So you could have got away with it.
I could have got away with it.
Just
Then
through
they
your indignation, you just fucked yourself.
they put. And actually, what I've realised now is actually Transport for London, when you're in, is probably one. I had like good salary and so many benefits, and also it's virtually impossible to get fired.
I got fired from there as well.
Virtually impossible.
But Free Speech Podcast can manage it.
Yeah, we can manage it.
Oh my god!
My friend got caught selling cocaine on the phone at Oyster Card help desk. He was speaking to someone else on the phone selling him cocaine. They called him in because he was part of the union and stuff. They went, well, we're gonna fire you. You're literally selling drugs over the phone. And he went, no, I'm a sex addict. And they went, what? He went, I'm a sex addict.
Yeah.
And they went, all right, then we'll send you to the Priory instead. So they sent him full paid to the Priory to clear his sex addiction. To be fair, he was a sex addict. I said, how do you know when you're a sex addict? He goes, well, I think when it really struck me is I was coming home from a club and I saw a homeless woman. I just felt so bad. I gave her 20 quid. And then she was like, do you want a blowjob? And I was like, and then I was getting my dick sucked in a wheelie bin, and I think that's when I realised I did have a sex addiction.
Also an addiction to climbing into wheelie bins. Like,
Yeah.
stand behind it.
Why
That was her name. Her street name was Wheelie Bin.
Why did he climb into the wheelie bin?
Well, they went into one of the big bins so he could get his penis filleted and not be seen by passers-by.
Exactly. Why didn't he stand behind the wheelie bin?
Because people could probably see there's a man getting a blowjob off a homeless woman just by that wheelie bin.
Go behind the wheelie bin.
Well, he's
and
not as
crouch
experienced as you, Nico. What can I say? Right, in his mind, in his sex-craved mind, he thought, if I do this
down.
in
Climbing in a bin for.
still gainfully employed at TFL. I won't say his name.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you will. We'll just bleep it out.
I know, I'm not
But
gonna say
that's
his
worse. Getting caught in a wheelie bin, getting a
but he
blowjob,
didn't get caught, though,
than
did he?
getting caught outside a wheelie bin, getting a blowjob.
Yeah, but he didn't get
You don't
caught.
want-
But that's when he realised he went, this is probably a step too far.
No. The fact that he got in the wheelie bin is a step too far.
That's where the fuck up is. That's the issue.
Yeah, it is. The blowjob is
What I
a
wanna know
reasonable
is,
thing.
Who got in the wheelie bin first? Are we talking about those big ones?
Yeah, we're talking about the big one.
Like the big-
wouldn't
the dump-
just be like the one that the woman put a cat in. She's like, she's got it going upside down so she can reach his dick.
Two star
Neil.
power driving her.
He got a blowjob off Oscar the Grouch.
I bet it looked like that Karen from Scotland as well.
She's fine.
She's
Fine. What did you get sacked from TFL for?
I was there for a while and I got bored. I worked on the new website project, so I did all the API stuff. And
that sounds like a real job.
I was a consultant, and it's dead. Consultants you can just get rid of. So I was lazy and I wasn't really doing a very good job at that point. I was they kept me on because I think the project manager, just liked me.
I got fired for selling my freedom pass or selling the thingy.
I just dragged it out, and then I finally they just had to get rid of me because I was lazy and wasn't really doing very much.
I used to wind up customers so bad. If a customer called me up and they were nice, and whatever they had problem, I'd give them £20 straight away.
Yeah.
So my feedback was either 5 stars or 1 stars. But if they were rude to me, one guy, I remember he called me. He's like, "I want to speak to your manager right now." And I was like, "No." He was like, "You will put me through to my manager now." I was like, "No." And I just did that, and he got so fucking angry. He called up and he got back to me, and I was like, "No." Just round. But it's all, I go, "I'm gonna come down there. I know where you work, 55 Broadway." I was like, "Come on in." He goes, "I'll fucking kill you." So, "What's your name?" "My name is Thomas." He went, "Well, I'll kill you, Thomas." So Thomas was sat there going, "What the fuck, man?"
Some people in
I'm trying to
customer
sell
service-
coke, man. Was that guy's name Thomas?
That is obviously not a Thomas.
Thomas from Cricklewood.
Works at B&Q.
23 Pembury Lane.
I can't say his name. Although he probably wouldn't mind if I did say his name.
Is he still? He's still there.
I believe he's
is he still selling coke?
I believe he's still gainfully employed at TFI. Honestly, if you got a union, so I didn't have a union, right? But what I did is, after I realized they were going to fire me, I joined the union, and the union were like, "There ain't no way they're going to fire you. Don't worry about it." Anyway, can we just see when you started signing up for your subs? Like, how long have you been a member of the union for? And I was like, yeah, I've been a member for ages. I really support the RMT. And then they looked at it, wait a minute, you joined after.
That's what I mean about the Russian men transitioning. They're going to transition. War started, you're like, yo, let me go transition.
Yeah.
Let me get out of this.
Well, RMT are going to be involved in that. Russian men transitioning.
Yeah, that's a good acronym. Although Transport for London are a very forward, progressive workplace. Even when I worked for them, they were big on diversity and gay rights, and they had the most. It was genuinely a great place to work. Although I do hate them, and I was trying to take them down from the inside because I think their fees are too expensive.
What are their fees?
I mean, the ticket. No, I mean Transport for London. Just the ticket prices is too expensive. Like, yeah, £10.
Well, shit is about to get more expensive. Is anyone worried about energy?
Yeah.
It's going to be like it's going to get crazy now, isn't it? It seems.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is we're coming into spring, so Putin's really mistimed this. Like invading Ukraine in springtime is because it's all mud, so all the tanks and trucks are getting bogged down in mud. And also, it's going to be warm, so Europe. You know how much Europe sends to Russia every day? $800 million.
Really?
That's how much oil and gas we're using from Russia.
And that's all going to Saudi Arabia now.
Now we've decided not to give our money to a nefarious regime and to give it to Saudi Arabia instead.
That benevolent regime.
Goodbye, Yemen.
Anything wrong?
See you later.
But they're brown, like Nico. You pointed out. So it's fine.
Yeah.
That's not. But honestly, I mean, it has made me see the Iraq War in a new light. I used to think it was great, but obviously the Iraq War was terrible. But I think the West learned lessons from Iraq and Afghanistan, and now they're a bit like, well, maybe we shouldn't go in and bomb people.
But what is Putin's plan? Because even if he does take over Ukraine, it's such a big country. He's not going to be able to hold it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that. This is the thing about, you know why they said, which is interesting, because there's a whole load of things going on, and this is why I always find the left and the woke so hypocritical, because you're like, oh yeah, stand with Ukraine. But now they're saying, oh look, go to Ukraine and they'll arm you with a gun. But at home, they want to take your guns. In Americans' homes, they want to take the guns away.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, what's a gun going to do against a tank or an aircraft? They said, that's not how it works. Because once they try and get into street fighting, everyone's got a gun. Anyone can shoot you and kill you. And that's why it's going to be impossible anyway, even if Putin does go in there, unless in the Crimea region, my understanding is they're ethnically Russian. So that's why he'd be able to hold it.
Same with Donbass. There's a lot of people in Donbass region want to be in Ukraine, and a lot of them want to be in Russia, and most of them just don't want to get blown up.
But if he takes over Kiev, he's not. There's just going to be. It's going to be like Vietnam, but with buildings. He's just going to get.
It's going to be like Northern Ireland.
It's going to be worse than Northern Ireland because they're going to be actively they've all been armed with guns, and they're going to just be out to.
It's going to be like Northern Ireland.
Yeah, but they'll be armed by the West. It'll be like Northern Ireland if the IRA were armed by the British
instead of the Americans.
Yeah, but they weren't like.
Are you Irish, Mooch?
Abraham tanks.
Yeah,
and
half.
Oh yeah, you.
But like, not really. As in, like, I've been there like 4 or 5 times.
Can you speak Arabic?
La. No.
Oh.
That's no in Arabic. Can you speak?
Yalla yalla after halibab. That means come, open the door.
Kusumuk.
Come. Why do you say it like you're snow?
Yalla,
or something like,
that's just-
come, milady.
open.
Come, milady.
Yalla yalla habibi after
That's not
halibab.
snow. That's fuck. Oh.
Buffalo, Dinosaur Town.
No, yes.
Come town.
Come Town. Crazy
Smash
town.
mouth.
Crazy Town.
Crazy town.
Crazy Town.
Crazy.
You're my
town.
brother Flash.
Yeah,
Big up,
yeah.
baby.
Somebody I knew in Canada had that as their wedding song.
What else can we talk about?
Did you
What
see
else?
Kerry Katona's joined OnlyFans? And
She's
not
been
only,
on OnlyFans for ages.
yeah, and she's made £2 million, over £2 million from OnlyFans.
The hell?
If you're Kerry Katona, you could make £2 million from other things.
Bring up Kerry Katona so I can see
know.
what she looks like
I don't
now.
know if she could.
Yeah, like, you could be doing like Brannigan's, like
What Brannigans?
like just a chain of like old
You know why
bars and
Kerry?
stuff like that. Jason Donovan went round and did like a tour of Brannigan's and stuff like that. That's kind
He's a
of.
singer.
So is Kerry Katona.
Oh, we gotta talk about Shane Warne. We
Uh,
gotta talk about Shane Warne passing away.
for
The
prostitutes.
legendary cricketer, spin
Allegedly.
bowler.
Kerry Katona is real. She's now a millionaire again, living in an amazing home after she signed up to an adult site OnlyFans. Her bumper payday comes as a former Gladymore mum of five.
I just want to
41.
see the pictures. I just want to see what she
Yeah, I
looks
don't know
like.
if so that's what she kind of looks like.
You know what it is about Kerry Katona?
Go
What
on,
is it
let me
about
see your
Kerry
face.
I'll tell you why she's successful.
Come down.
Because
Let me see the second picture.
she's just fit enough that most men think I could pull her. That's why.
I don't.
she's
She's
more
not my cup of
accessible.
tea.
No, but she's not like she's not like I don't know who like Jennifer Lopez.
I
or
get
someone.
what you're saying, Darius.
Yeah, like she's attainable.
She's not.
Girl
Yeah.
next door.
No.
No,
Yeah.
she's
No.
she's
Girl Next Door
Milf
is a
Next
more.
It's kind
homely
of like
type.
amateur porn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If
Why
you're
he's
into
saying
amateur
that
porn-
she's like the girl in the club that you can pull.
Yeah, she's.
You know,
10 to 3. Okay.
Yeah.
but you know, in
Kerry
2000,
Katona time.
She's a no yes.
you know, in 2008 and 2013,
Have you burped, Nico?
Nah, that's Leo.
I haven't burped. You know, in 2008, it was Nico. In 2013, she was bankrupted, and she's made some money doing OnlyFans, and now she's bought a Lamborghini. And it was like,
my God.
why don't you put that money in the bank instead of spending
Oh,
it
you
all
know
on
she
Lamborghini?
bought a Lamborghini?
Because I read the article.
Okay.
Man, are we gonna
You
start?
believe everything you read?
It's more pro-Western propaganda.
Are we gonna start our OnlyFans competition?
I think we could, I think that'd be funny.
So who gets the most money?
We could do everything. We could do everything that Kerry Katona does, and then if
But-
we earn less money than Kerry Katona, then that's
We could have
evidence of
Lamborghinis
discrimination.
this time next week.
We will forget to put the content though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do our topic
You know,
speech.
there's loads of stuff we didn't do.
Well, what else?
Like everything. We didn't put together a plan for this week's episode
Or our topic speech,
or a topic speech.
which people quite enjoy.
What
Yeah.
is the topic speech?
When we
when we
do
did the
those
live
weird
stream.
Zoom calls that Nico never
Oh
joins us
yeah.
on.
I got kids, man.
Yeah, so have I.
So have
I
I.
got one kid.
Yeah.
I got one kid.
Yeah,
Easy to manage with one kid.
two's too many.
2 kids is a lot.
Crazy. Crazy 2 kids. So Shane Warne has died.
Yeah.
And
I instantly thought he died from a vaccine, but apparently it was from
Apparently,
a Coke.
it was from fruit juice.
what?
What?
He went on a fruit juice diet, they're saying, and that the fruit juice diet affected him. That is too harsh a diet, and that caused the heart attack, which we all know is bullshit.
Well, the pictures I got on WhatsApp suggested that he was having a late night orgy on cocaine-fueled orgy.
Yeah, I
Can
couldn't
you
see
send me
that
those?
much mango juice in the
Do you want me
picture.
to forward them?
Yeah,
Can we
yeah,
put
yeah.
them on the podcast?
Yeah.
All right then.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? All right, you might need to blur them. I'll
Hero
forward it.
Warne died after extreme liquid diet. We could have had your reaction to it. That would have been great.
Oh, Shiny. No.
We could
Oh,
put it
yeah.
on the locals only.
Yeah, Mooch, that was a great reaction.
Oh, mate. This is crazy.
Yes.
We can put this one up. So this is Shane Warne getting his wicked sucked. But yeah, he was cooked off his face with brasses. Died in Thailand, drug, sex, craze, sex, heart attack. Well, look, he lived.
But also they're saying they said he died of natural causes. What? But athletic 52-year-old.
Well, let's get something straight. Shane Warne was hardly an athlete. He was a spin bowler, so he didn't need to be like. Yeah. He's not like some pace bowler, and it's cricket. It's not like he was like an Australian rugby player or a football player. He has to run.
He ran around a bit.
It's just like saying like a darts player. It was an elite fucking athlete.
Leo's got no clue about any sport. Leo, why do you
know about sport?
What do you know?
You would have been a good bowler, Leo. You need good height to be a bowler.
I played cricket for Symington, Tinto, and I think Lanarkshire as well.
What did you?
Not maybe somewhere in Lanark or something.
Surprised.
Really?
Yeah, when I was a teenager.
Bowler.
All of it. You got to do all of it. You don't just get to come in and bowl.
No bat.
Shit, I was bad at it though.
But being that tall, you should be able to generate a lot of pace and bounce.
Yeah.
I was the best at cricket. I was the first person in my county to score 6 sixes off 6 balls.
That's made up.
No, why would I lie?
But you're not in a county. You're in London. You're in Pimlico.
Yeah, that's the county. It's probably Surrey.
Yeah, I was playing for Essex.
But Pimlico's not in Essex, and also you're doing that face when you lie.
Yeah.
Also, you're Darius, and it seems obviously it's suspiciously close to what you just said.
Yeah, it was a lie. I was lying.
Yeah, we all.
Could you imagine Larry? Who
the fuck is Larry?
Hilarious. Darius on Would I Lie to You? Just be the one.
Yeah.
Yes, you would lie.
You can trust me.
You can trust me.
Give me the.
I'm Darius.
Give me the money.
Give me the money.
We'll share it.
Have you ever told the lie and people believed it?
Yeah.
Yeah, on this pod.
Exciting times.
Exciting times
in Russia.
Listen, all I know is that people shouldn't get doxxed if they work at B&Q in Kirkwood. That's all. That's all I know.
Right. So we were talking about this saying it was a natural death. How can it be a natural death if the man is 52 years old?
Well, people do die of things early. You know what I mean?
Not naturally.
Yeah, I had a friend.
No. For it to be natural, the mortality rate or the age rate of death would have to be 52, and it's not.
No one dies of natural causes. No one the natural cause is not a cause of death. Whenever someone dies, it's due to something else, like a failure of an organ or something like that. Or a crocodile. Natural death just from old age doesn't occur.
No, your heart gives out or something that they expect to happen at that age happens.
Yeah,
so what I'm saying, 52 is not the age you expect heart attacks. The average age for heart attacks will be more like 70 something. So that's not a natural cause.
Well, 50 starts to become a danger zone for men. But like if they're unfit, if they're overweight, if they smoke, do cocaine, stuff like that.
Yeah. Vance.
Yeah, but he's 52 and he was an athlete, as we said.
But
athlete-ish. Also, a lot of athletes, because I mean, not him so much, but apparently, so Olympic rowers and swimmers and other stuff where actually your heart gets enlarged because it's doing so much work, and then if you stop, you've got to keep training when you retire. Because if you stop, then your heart, because it's so overlarge, it'll like calcify and actually become.
They actually said lifting weights can sometimes be detrimental to heart health.
That happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I think it was also the copious amounts of steroids.
What happened to him?
We had a heart attack when he was when he was like 60 or 50. He had to open heart surgery.
He had a triple bypass, didn't he?
And now he can't work out, train properly.
Right.
So that's why he doesn't look as fabulous as
also he's
Stallone.
70.
No, but Stallone looks amazing.
No, he doesn't.
Bring up Sylvester Stallone.
Stallone had so much work done on his face.
I'm not talking about his face. I'm talking about his body, his hot body, his hot taut body, his hot,
face,
strong.
It looks like somebody's left like some sort of rubber thing in the sunshine. It's just all
melted candle.
And his
he looks like he's had Neuralink implanted in his face. Actually, I tell you who looks good. Sylvester Stallone's daughters are fit. I followed them on Instagram and they were in London.
So glad you said Instagram.
And I told them to go to Top Secret and they did.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you meet them?
No, because I wasn't on.
So they probably saw the Beijing sensation.
Well, they messaged me and they said, thanks for the recommendation. But the host was really shit. And I went, who was it? Was it Mark? And I went, no, it was NICO. It's a lie. It didn't happen.
Yeah, very
Not true.
believable.
But they are fit.
So Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, bring him up. Yeah, look.
Yeah, but Sylvester Stallone now, not Sylvester Stallone in like.
He's ruined himself with tattoos. What is that real?
That's
is that,
Dolph
Lundgren.
That's
But
Dolph
Dolph
Lund-
Lundgren actually is still like pretty stacked and stuff.
that's not
Not
Dolph
by
Lundgren.
this photo.
That's a woman.
Who's that
Yeah,
on
that's
the right?
a bad.
That's Dolph Lundgren.
That's a bad photo of Dolph Lundgren. I saw another photo of Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, it's on,
recently
and that's
where
from
he-
YouTube. It's obviously been edited. That's what he looks like there, down with the grey and the beard. He looks good. Listen, man, look at his body. If he's 70 years old, you wish to look like that now.
It looks like a woman in a Scottish prison.
Yeah. Manly.
Well, like,
That is to say manly. The definition of manliness.
I look like Karen Cousin.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, he's in fairly good nick. You got to give him that. But I think most of Hollywood really is, isn't it? You don't get too many who look terrible in Hollywood.
You get those adverts a lot when you're looking at stuff on internet.
Careful what you
pages.
say, Hill.
And they say like, "Oh, you won't believe what this person who's, and it's always somebody who's fit in like 1986. You won't believe what they look like now." It's like, well, obviously going to look older and
Yeah.
probably put on a bit of
What
weight.
about Jane Foster?
Fonda.
Jane
Jane
Fonda.
Fonda.
She let herself kind of go a little.
But she's
bit.
like 90.
You know who?
No,
looks-
not Jane Fonda. The one who was in not Boogie Nights. She was in the other not Pulp Fiction. The other one, the air hostess one, Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown.
Yeah,
Pam
remember?
Grier.
Not Pam Grier. The blonde woman.
I know who you mean.
Jane Fonda. Jane
That's,
Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie
what's
Foster.
her name? No.
Not Jodie.
It's
Jodie Mitchell.
It's Jane something.
This is amazing podcasting.
No, but I know
Jane,
who you
it's
mean.
Jane
And she's
Fonda.
part of a family. She's part of an acting family. Which is she? No, she's related to Jane Fonda.
She's
Yeah,
part-
Jane fucking
Bridget Fonda.
Bridget
Fonda. Google Bridget Fonda today.
I was quite fond of her.
Hey-oh.
UK Punch champion.
Biggleswade Bomber in the building. You know who looked good for their age, but too good? Cher.
Right.
Her face looks too good for a 80-year-old white woman.
She 80 years old.
She's something wrong there.
I tell you who doesn't look good.
Pull up
who's
Cher there, Mooch.
Madonna. Listen,
Madonna, I was just gonna
internet
say
lets me
Madonna.
search one person a day.
at a
Pull up
time.
Cher.
Pull up Madonna.
Yeah, she's 75. Jeez.
75, yeah, and she has no wrinkles.
She's obviously.
She had work, yeah,
Let me
but
see.
She's got good
What? She's
genetics.
not. What? She's not natural.
nah,
that's shocking to
Botox
me.
and shit, but she looked too good for 75 white woman.
Do you?
She's got the eyes are doing that. You know that David Guest thing. You know the guy who went out with Liza Minnelli and was friends
Yeah.
with Michael Jackson and he died. She's
What?
got the eyes are doing the same thing because
Right.
it's the lift gets screwed, so then it's like the eyes are sort of left.
She looks better now than she did when she was in her 20s. Bridie Wildenstein is the weirdest one.
The eyes are doing what, Leo?
So they see how the eyes are sort of like they're sort of like
Or going up at the sides?
yeah, like sleep sort of half closed but like still stretched back. It's because it's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
stretched
Pulling
too
it
much.
back,
I don't
yeah.
know. I'm not an expert in plastic surgery, only global geopolitics
And capybaras.
and capybaras.
And gerbils.
And gerbils, tell you anything about gerbils. What do you want to know?
And spatchcock in a chicken.
I know how to I spatchcocked a chicken with a plastic knife once.
There
One of
you
those
go.
little white plastic picnic knives.
And what else?
I cut through bone
Yeah, with a plastic.
with a plastic knife. That's how good I am at spatchcock.
Cooking lamb chops
What
on
the
a
hell?
grilling
Why is there a
arc.
Nazi thing? Oh, is that the
I
film?
cook lamb chops in a barbecue.
There we go.
Yeah.
That one.
What? That's the same person?
That's the
Yeah.
same
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
And not only that, there's not even that long between those two pictures. That's Inglourious Bastards. That wasn't that long ago.
She's Shoshana?
She what?
Is she
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
the
that's the
Shoshana girl?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. But that's the who were you rooting for in that film? Was it the Nazis?
Was that?
Hey, look, there's two sides to every
sides.
story.
I thought that.
Hang on.
I thought the background was from the Azov battalion.
No, but hang on. Pull up that clip of that African leader talking about Hitler, and he made some strong points.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I was about to. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have
but
some editorial judgment.
It was on the
Editorial
news.
control.
And black people, what he said resonated with black people.
Yeah.
Until they met him.
Yeah, until I don't know if he had a favourable view of black people.
No, the guy who was talking about Hitler.
Yeah, I'm talking
the guy.
about Hitler.
Oh yeah, Hitler loved the blacks.
He refused to shake Jackie. What's his
Jesse.
name? Hand. Jesse.
That's
Jesse.
only because he smoked his guy, but the other he was friendly with.
No, but it wasn't Hitler's whole thing based
Hitler smoked
on...
a lot of people. Like,
Hitler's whole thing was based on white supremacy or Aryan supremacy or something.
You know, Iranians think they're Aryan. They genuinely think they're Aryan. Like,
And I tell them they're not.
yeah, well, I told him that. I got my dad's Iranian friends like sitting on a carpet with a camel behind him. And we are the Aryan race superior. I said, you're really not. You haven't even got a roof on your
you're
fucking house.
Iranian, not Iranian.
Are they on the set of Aladdin? Like, what's going on there?
They live in tents.
I tell you, there's a group of black people who believe they're the original Jews.
Yeah, the black
Black Israelites.
And there are black Jews. There
Yeah,
are
yeah.
black Jews in Ethiopia. There are black Jews in, I think, Nigeria as well. And
Nick Cannon had some things to say about this.
What did he say?
this,
this
I
is
think
a while
there's,
ago he said some wild
what's the tribe called? December, and they did their DNA, and they're descendants of King David.
They actually get racially. They suffer racism in Israel.
Anytime you black, you suffer racism.
I was really sort of shocked to see the pictures of black people being held back in Ukraine. Unless it was an attempt to keep Ukraine diverse. Maybe they were like, we believe in diversity so much.
Yeah, I wish.
Did you see the picture of the black guy from England signing up to become a fighter over there?
Nice.
It's crazy that the people. I mean, it's honourable.
Yeah.
Well, the Ministry of Defence have told them not to do that. They said, don't go and fight because we don't want to get dragged into this because you've gone there and they've got British arms.
Well, they also say you could be prosecuted under terrorism laws. But then people who went and fought against ISIS didn't get prosecuted.
Oh, so what? You want to fight for ISIS and you get prosecuted?
Yeah.
Let Shamima Begum back. She's fit now.
She's fit now. She's had a glow up.
I don't know if she's fit.
We already discussed this. We've done this already, Mooch.
yeah. That was like episode 1.
Yeah, I know, but what does she look like now? After, like, if Jane Fonda...
Who was that woman, though? Inglourious Bastard. What was that actress's name?
Bridget Fonda.
Bridget Fonda.
That was Jane Fonda, I think.
Yeah, man, because that film wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I haven't seen it. Is it
That's
2009.
You've seen Inglourious Bastard?
To be fair,
That's his best film.
It was 13 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, it's 2009.
That's his best film.
So yeah, it was quite a while ago.
Fuck, man.
I thought that was like last week or something.
No.
What the fuck is going on?
No, but
Time
that
is going
picture
on.
of her was from when?
One was
like last month.
Yeah, one was recently. So in 13 years, she's let herself go,
Yeah.
which is understandable now.
I haven't let myself go in 13 years.
Well, let's see. You're probably not going to survive 13 more years. The amount of shit you put inside you. Can I have some more Alvance though, please?
I don't give out Alvance. As someone in the YouTube comments said, do they know it's a controlled substance? Yes, we do. And that's why we control it very carefully.
Yeah. Can you control some over here?
No, because that would be against the law.
I had to leave. I had to leave magic mushrooms in Ireland.
Why?
I realised I had them in my bag when I got to Ireland.
Well, why didn't you just bring them back?
I did that with cocaine.
No way.
I travelled across several borders. We went to like a festival in St. Kitts. No, it was great. And we flew Virgin. We went from so St. Kitts is kind of like you have
in the Caribbean.
Yeah. But we had to go to, I think, Antigua or something like that, and then from Antigua to New York, then from New York to London.
To America.
Man, so if you'd have got caught, you'd have been in trouble.
So we got there. Coke is so cheap. We just bought fucking, Escobar amounts.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I was pissed. I just took a load and put it into like a magazine and just folded it like that and put it into like this thing.
Well, you actually smuggled it in.
White people just talk about their crimes.
It's comedy.
Openly.
Comedy podcast.
Comedy podcast. Nothing we say on this is true. It's not medical advice and it's not geopolitical advice. You don't really like Hitler. At least we hope.
Yeah.
It's not all true.
I never said I like Hitler. I'm just saying.
He had some good ideas. We get it. We went through, because we had a connecting flight, so we flew into JFK, got off the thing, went through. I got stopped, did a little swipe search, and got pulled aside, but was so calm because I was like, I don't have anything on me. Came back to London. A couple of weeks later, I was just unpacking like this bag that had my thing in, and I opened up and I was like, oh my God, I've got like 5-6 grams of cocaine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, panicked, but then I was like, sweet.
How easy would it have been to find, like, if they had pulled your bag?
If they had done a swipe thing for drugs, I'd have been found instantly.
So
it
what
wasn't
is swipe
hid.
for?
It was obviously for explosives or something like that.
Right.
So like I got, they did that whole thing and just went through all of my stuff and went, beep, 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 it's fine. But I would have been in prison, not being allowed back to America. Probably shouldn't be saying this on.
You've been tooting that ass up.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'd probably been. I don't know, because it's a first time offence, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then I think I'm white passing as well.
Passing, baby.
But crossing an international boundary, especially in America and stuff with Class A's and stuff. But if Dubai, so you don't even need to get caught with
Much would be
a usable amount.
Sponge baths.
You don't even need to get caught with a usable amount. There's a guy, a Radio 1 DJ, got caught in Dubai with. It was just he had some hash, but not like an amount of hash you could use. It was on the wheel of his lighter, so he'd obviously been rolling a joint, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just residue had got onto the wheel of the lighter, and he still got done and went to jail.
Really,
it was mad.
There's
Dubai.
There's the WNBA woman in Russia who got caught with a vape. And now she's trying to get out of it. She brought a medical vape, and now she got caught before the war, but now she's saying, "Oh no, they've stopped me because of the war."
Was it cannabis?
Yeah,
right.
It was a big story.
What was that DJ? It wasn't
Gold something.
Groove Rider.
No,
it wasn't as famous.
Goldie.
As
Pat Sharp.
Yeah, it's Groove Rider. Fabian Groove.
Dr. Fox.
There's a drum and bass guy. I think it was Groove Rider.
Right.
It's not Dr. Fox.
No.
There was one that I think a couple of them had been done, and one of them actually went to jail, and they had to bring like diplomatic pressure and stuff to get him out.
Really?
Yeah.
No, well, Groove Rider was there for a while.
All right, maybe it was him then.
It was. He was there for a few years. It was fucked.
Right. Jesus.
Yeah.
What songs did he sing?
It didn't really sing.
He can't go into America now. If you get caught with a drug charge, you can't ever go into America.
You've got this problem because Darius got caught picking mushrooms, so he gets stopped every time he goes.
Well, not anymore, I don't think, because I've got a new passport. And also,
has it got somebody else's name on it? Like, you
no, but
made it in PDF, PDF editor for my Android phone.
It turns out I actually didn't get arrested. I thought I got arrested. I was only asked to speak to them. So I wasn't arrested, so I think I'm all right for it now.
Right,
anyway,
cool.
But either way, I've got a waiver, but still. They used to think they caught Pablo Escobar.
Patrick Escobar. This man is on the road today.
Irish hash dealer.
And then I'd go in and they go, why are you here for drugs? And I'm like, mushrooms. Oh, get out.
Patrick
4 years. Groove Rider was there for 4 years for a little bit. He had porn as well, apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you not allowed porn in Dubai?
I don't think you're allowed porn.
Oh, yeah. On some of these countries, they block the porn websites. I don't know I think they do in Dubai, so you got to use a VPN and then
the thing is
buffers
it's a Muslim country where women have to cover up. I think porn maybe.
Well, apparently the most homosexual porn consumed in the world is in the Middle East.
Right.
That's a fact.
But it's banned over there, isn't it?
But not now that Darius has come home.
It's banned over there, isn't it? The gay porn.
I think all porn's banned. But gay porn would definitely be banned in the Middle East.
But it's the most
also, Mohammed porn is probably banned over there.
We won't mention that. We don't.
Yeah.
Leo's just escaped one fatwa. We don't want to bring another one upon us.
Okay, cool. Take that out.
Patrick.
Guys, thanks very much for listening to another episode of the Free Speech Podcast. Please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. A couple of announcements. Leo and I are doing our solo show for the Netflix recording March 24th.
Next up recording.
What did I say?
Netflix.
Yeah, we wish it was. We wish it was Netflix. It's not. Next up.
Directed by Patrick Escobar.
Actually,
yes, I will be in Glasgow, Edinburgh, Newcastle, April 5th, 6th, and 7th at the Stand Comedy Club. So come down and check that out.
March 20th is the recording. 2 p.m. Free drinks, free food. So come and watch
free food
that.
as well.
Yeah, free pizza.
Are we doing a bucket collection afterwards? Are we allowed to?
Yeah,
we're doing that.
No, but don't tell them online.
Oh, you won't tell you online.
No bucket collection.
No bucket. It's going to be absolutely free. Listen, please like and subscribe. It really helps. Let's try and get this podcast to 200 likes and see if that makes any difference. I don't think it will, but Mooch says it will. So let's do that. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I've been Darius.
Wah, wah.
Make a weird noise, Mooch.
Yeah.
There you
Thanks.
go. Bye.
Bye.